Hey, welcome everyone to our video guide. My name is Ned, and in today's video, we're going to learn how to connect Caspio's IDP to an external application. The benefit of doing so is that not only can you use the IDP to log into your existing Caspio applications, but you can simultaneously log into any external application that supports SAML single sign-on. And for the video today, I have chosen to use Slack. So any end user that I have inside the Caspio IDP, I want them to be able to log into my Slack account so they can contribute to each one of my channels. So back inside Caspio, we need to set up a directory. And let's just say we have a marketing team that needs to log in. So we'll hit create. We'll open it up. And then we'll navigate over to app connections and very simply just click on the button here in the upper right. And let's give this app connection a name. We're going to call it Slack. We'll use the email as the user ID. And then underneath that, you're going to be able to see two text fields. We need to grab some information from Slack and populate that information inside the fields. And then when you click on create and enable, Caspio is going to give you some information back that you need to copy and paste back on the Slack side. So let's see where we can find this information. So inside my Slack account, we're going to click on the dropdown. And underneath settings and administration, click on workspace settings. Click on authentication. And then we need to configure our SAML authentication. So click on that button. And now to grab those two fields that we need to populate inside Caspio, I need to click on custom SAML instructions. And the first link that I need to grab is the entity ID. So we're going to copy that back inside Caspio. We're going to paste that inside the identity ID. And for the second field, it's right above it. So we need to grab this URL, copy that. Back in Caspio, paste, and you need to make a slight modification. Whatever your application name is on the Slack side, that becomes your domain. So my domain is called App Connections. When you're done, click on Create and Enable. And here's the information that we'll need to plug back into the Slack site. So you're going to need to download the certificate, and we have these two links that we're going to copy and paste back on the Slack site. So let's begin by copying the very first link, which is the identifier. So I'll copy that. When you go back to your Slack account, go to the tab that contains these fields. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is just paste the first link in the second field, like that. Back inside Caspio, we're going to copy the second link, which is the sign-on URL. Paste that up here in the first field. And then you need to copy and paste your certificate. So back on the Caspio side, we're going to download the certificate. Let me bring that into the screen. And all you need to do is just right click and make sure you open that up in some kind of a readable file. So I have Notepad. I'm going to use that. I'll open it. Let me bring that into the screen. And all I'm going to do is just copy this entire certificate. Go back to Slack. Paste that inside the text area. Expand the advanced options. Make sure you uncheck assertion signed. And then you have to decide if you want the authentication to be for all the workspace members except guest accounts, or set it to optional. I'm just going to set it to optional, and I can customize my button. So maybe I can say sign in with SAML, and we can call this Caspio directory to be able to sign in with the Caspio IDP or Caspio directory. You can save the configuration. And now it's going to ask you to log in. But before I log in, I don't really have a user inside my Caspio IDP. So let me quickly create that. Okay, we're going to close the screen. And then let's go under users. And let's create our user. The email has to be the same email that you use to log into Slack. So I use my Caspio email. And then you activate the user. I'm going to generate the password. No need to enforce for the end user to change that password when they first log in. I'm just going to copy my password and hit create. In addition to creating the user, you also have to now include that user inside that app connection. So if I go back to app connections, if I open it, I'm going to add my user, and I'm just going to select Ned and place him inside my Slack app connection. So that will be the final step. Now we can go back to Slack and try to log in. So here's my directory pop-up. I'm just going to use my email. I'll hit remember me. I've already copied my password. I'm just going to paste it inside the field, hit sign in. And now that I'm logged in, I should have everything configured. If you want to test that out, what you can do is simply go back to your application, go ahead and log out. And now you will be able to see when you share the link to log into your Slack account, I will be able to quickly log in with the Caspio directory and the credentials stored inside my Caspio IDP. But at the same time, I can use those credentials to log into a Caspio application or any other external application, as I mentioned, that supports SAML single sign-on. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.